Okay, and welcome once again to another PTE lesson. My name is Ruth, and I'm going to be your PTE trainer for today. This lesson is
Yes,
brought to you by Sika, and Sika is an immigration service providing company. We provide immigration services to Australia, to New Zealand, to Canada, the US, and the UK. Um, Along with helping people to settle and find their dream life here in Australia, we also help students and individuals to help migrate to Canada, US, and UK. We also help students secure admissions in great colleges in Canada, as well as obtain major scholarships. So this is a free class that is brought to you, and we have these free PTE and IELTS classes every day from Monday to Friday. On Monday, we have these from Monday to Friday. The PT classes are conducted uh, 11 to 1 AEST, or that's the Canberra time, and the IELTS classes will be conducted 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock every day, Canberra time. So if you friends or you are looking at these classes, please feel free to join them. So let's discuss PT listening. Before we start off, these are a few practice websites that you can use to practice your PT questions. You already have a profile, I understand here, Gurkir.
ma'am. Yes.
Okay, in all of these websites, I understand you have a profile in all of these, is it?
Ma'am, yeah.
Okay, so we'll start off with PT listening. PT listening is the last exam module or the last exam that you will be attending. Before you take up PT listening, there is going to be a 10-minute break, which is optional. You can choose to take it or not. So I suggest that you take it because your brain would be fried by the time you finish your reading. So a break would be welcome. You could take your break and then take part from in your listening module. Your listening has about, can you guess how many question types are there in your listening?
Ma'am, 8.
There are 8 different types of questions in your listening, and your listening is divided into 2 sections. So, section 1 of your listening has this one question type, which is called Summarize Spoken Text. And section 2 of your listening has 7 other different question types. So, section 1 is Summarize Spoken Text, where you'll be writing a summary and of the audio that you're listening to. So, an audio or a lecture is played, and you're writing a summary of the audio or the lecture that you're listening to. This summary has to be written between dash to dash words. What's the word limit?
Ma'am, word limit, I don't know.
It is between 50 and 70 words long. So 50 is your minimum and 70 is your maximum. So the word limit for summarized spoken text is 50 to 70 words. So please make sure that you don't go even a word below 50 or a word above 70. And what do you think is the word limit is done? And do you remember how many minutes are given for each question?
Ma'am, 20 to 30 minutes.
20 to 30 minutes for the entire section. Each section or each summary is for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
If there are 2 questions, then this section is for 20 minutes. If there are 3 questions, then this section is for 30 minutes. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're being tested for listening, for writing, for grammar, vocabulary, spelling, content, and form. So along with this question type giving you 10 points to listening, this question type can also give you points towards writing. So these are the factors that you're being marked for. You're marked for your grammar, for vocabulary, for spelling, content, and form. Grammar is your sentence structure, capitalization, full stops, punctuations, and all that. So that's 2 points for your grammar, 2 points for your vocabulary, 2 points for spelling, 2 points for content, which means how many words of the audio that is there, or how much of the audio is there in your summary. That's what content means. And form is your word limit. So these are the factors for which you're being marked. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So the reason why your listening questions are divided into two sections is because in section 1 there is time allotted for that question. So Summarize Spoken Text has 10 minutes allotted for each question. But the second section of your listening, where you have the remainder 7 questions, there is no time allotted. So that you're just given 7 types of question. You're given a heap of questions, and you're given anywhere from, if there are 20 minutes, anywhere from 15 to 27 minutes, and you're supposed to write this. I'm sorry, you're given anywhere from 17 to 25 minutes, and you're supposed to answer these questions. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let's start off with the first type of question, which is summarize spoken text. Do you have a template for that?
Ma'am, no.
You're not memorized. You don't have a template. Okay, you can feel free to use this template. This one. Can you take a picture of this?
Ma'am, yes.
So this is an easy template. So as you can see, you'll be in the blanks. Everywhere you see the 4 keywords, you'll be putting in 4 keywords separated by a comma. And before the last keyword, there's going to be and. Is this clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
Now, how to attempt this question? Draw on your sheet of paper, draw 3 lines or make 4 columns like this. Draw 3 lines or make 4 columns like this. And then when you're listening to the audio, you will take down keywords from the audio in groups of 4. Clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
So, what are these keywords? These keywords can be dates, it can be percentages, it can be information of any kind. It can be any kind of a noun or sometimes an action word or an adjective as well. But please make sure that you don't add in any grammar words like
Yeah.
and or but or because or the. Okay? So, other than that,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can take in any words. So your job is to try and take down at least 20
20 words.
20 to 24 words at least. Okay, so that even if you're not sure of one word, you can get rid of it and take the other one. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to play an audio. I want you. Are you ready with your pen and paper?
Yes, ma'am.
So if I play an audio, will you try and write? Try to take notes and then write a template. Write a summary in this template using this template. Will you do that?
Ma'am, yes.
So I'll take you to this website, which is called realpte.com. And here, listening, summarize, spoken text, not
Absolutism is
not this one. Let's go to predictions. Let's go to high frequency questions. Okay, are you ready?
Ma'am, yes.
At the count of 3, 1, 2, I'm getting ready with my paper as well. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Why should we read the Republic? I imagine lots of students ask this question to themselves when they're given it as a set book at the beginning of their university course. But in fact, there are many good reasons to read the Republic. And the first one I would pick on is just that it is immensely readable. It's not, Plato did not write philosophy like a dry textbook. He wrote it like a living conversation. The whole of the Republic, which is a fairly fat book, is a living conversation written in short, almost soundbite type answers, but nevertheless developing some very, very important ideas. So my first answer then, we should read the Republic just because it is readable. It was written by a genius and it's worth reading. It's easy to read. It's not difficult. But then there's also obviously the thought, the content of the book. And he's asking this absolutely fundamental question: Why should we bother to be good? What's in it for us, effectively? It seems when we look at the world, it looks as though injustice pays, it looks as though crime pays, whereas the good people get trodden down. So Plato addresses this absolutely fundamental question. Why should we be good? I'm not going to tell you his answer. Read the book.
Okay. So I'll give you about 6 minutes now. It's already been 2 minutes. You have in your exam, based on your exam, you have about 8 minutes. But because we're practicing, shall I give you about 6 minutes?
Ma'am, yes.
Okay, I'm going to time you now. And I'm going to attempt this as well. You have about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. So I'm just resuming the recording and I can check your answer right here. So resume, share, new share. I use this Word document. Okay, just ignore this. This is from yesterday's lesson. Okay, I'll just put your summary over here, right here. So I'll mark it in a different color so that you'll know it as yours. I'll mark it in red. The speaker provided this entire thing. Firstly, I'll check the word limit. Word limit is 77 words, love. That's 7 words more than your word limit. So you have to stay within your word limit. Let's look at it. The speaker provided brief information about Republic, living conservation, content of the book, and about the text. So there's no need of about. You can just put and the text. And there's a comma after the third word always, okay? It's because this behaves like a complex sentence. So you'll need it. First of all, there should be a comma after the linking word. The speaker discussed about the Republican of people. There is no of people. The Republican is a book, so you have to capitalize it. So about the Republican effectively and fundamental rights. So there's a comma after the last word before and. Secondly, there is no need of also because we are running out of word. That's the reason, okay? Mentioned about living conservation and content of the book. Thirdly, the speaker also highlighted, there is no need that to know why should we good, why should we be good, read books for that. In a nutshell, there was important information on the content of this book. Because there is no important word there, it's okay if you just remove this as well. So now you have about 57 words. Okay, I'll just rewrite what you've written. Sorry. There was important information on the content of the book. This is fine. I think let's look at the word limit now. This is about 70 words. So this is a job well done. The only thing is you have to worry about your just focus on the punctuation. So separate every keyword with a comma, and before and there should be a comma. Is this clear? Do you want to see mine as well? So I'll just show you mine. I had written it over here. Give me a minute. So it's not this, it is written. Okay, I had written it over here. If you can see this one. So the speaker provided brief information about read, comma, the Republic, students, and question. First of all, good reason, first reason, and immensely readable. Secondly, the speaker mentioned living conversation, comma, fairly, and fact book. Thirdly, the speaker highlighted written, genius, Plato, and worth reading. In a nutshell, content of the book answers. So I wrote this, bother to be good. Now, when I looked at it, this was inside my word limit. See, let me remove this and I'll show you. So when I wrote so much, I had written only 57 words and I had more keywords. So what I did was I just put one more linking word to sum up, and then I put according to the speaker, good people are trodden down. I just put the rest of it. Is this making sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can we do one more?
Yes.
Okay. So eyes on the screen. So give me a minute. I'll just put that sum up on the summary just for you to copy as well. So this is optional. If you have more words to sum up, I'll just remove the high. To sum up, comma, and then you can put in your keywords. 21 keyword, 22, whatever is your extra keyword, 23, and keyword 24. So you can put this up. If you have, this is optional. The last one is optional. I'll just put this in italics. You can take a picture if you want to. Okay. So let's do the next one. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So draw 4 lines or make 3 columns. I'm sorry, draw 3 lines or make 4 columns. Okay, now we're going to take our keywords for the next predicted. This is from the prediction file as well. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and go.
I'm 43 years old and I owe tens of thousands of dollars in student loans. Oh, sure, I knew the loans were piling up as I went through school. But with one loan coming from here, another from there, I had no idea of the rock slide that was building. 15 years later, I still experience moments of sheer horror regarding my family's financial situation. My monthly student loan payment is more than triple my car payment. Okay, so without my college degree, I would not have been able to get my current job. For that, I'm grateful, but at what cost? My loans have been accruing at a rate of 10%, and now they have burgeoned to, well, I'm an English major, you do the math. I don't think they'll ever get paid off. We're in debt way past our eyeballs, and there's no hope in sight. I'm being kept in class, a financial class of graduates whose only hope for attending college meant borrowing money from the government. Because of our mounting credit card debt and monthly payments that far exceed our family's income, my kids will also join the class of citizens who can't rely on their parents for college support. Do I wish I'd chosen another educational route? You bet. Perhaps trade school. I thought that being a plumber might not be such a bad gig. But if your job aspirations require a 4-year degree, take my advice and choose a college you can afford both during and after graduation. Take a realistic look at your anticipated income and factor in priorities that don't carry a price, like the spouse and children you might want to have someday. I was overconfident that my student loan debt would pale in comparison to the lucrative writing career I'd enjoy after graduation. Now I'm paying for that decision in more ways than I'd ever imagined.
I'll time you again for 6 minutes left. I'll stop recording. I'll resume recording. I'll copy your work and put it onto the Word document over here. This is your work. The speaker, this is about 55 words. The speaker provided brief information about buildings, 15 years, family, and degree. First of all, the speaker discussed loan payment, degree, third job, and graduate, good job. Secondly, the speaker mentioned hope, income, and kids. Thirdly, the speaker highlighted education, realistic, and income. In a nutshell, there was important information on the loan payment, graduation, and job. Good job. I'll just show you my work as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So I wrote it here. You can see. The speaker provided brief information about 43 years old, tens of thousands amount and student loans. First of all, 15 years later, moments, sheer horror, family's financial situation. I think I should put an and here. Secondly, triple car mortgage payments and loan. Thirdly, without degree, so I'll just put a remove without. Thirdly, degree, no jobs, English major, and loans can't be paid off. In a nutshell, financial class graduates borrowing money and government. To sum up, children rely on parents, job aspiration, and lucrative jobs. So those 6 minutes are just up. Can we do one more?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any doubts?
Ma'am, no.
You're familiar with this. You can do it.
Ma'am, yes.
So let me also draw 3 lines, like 4 columns, and we'll start with the next one. The count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Under appropriate conditions, mind you. Sound receptors. You've got sound receptors in your ear, and they're beautiful. We're not going to talk about them at any length, but there's little flappy, these little spiky things coming along in your ear, and they can translate vibrational energy coming from your ear, hitting your eardrum, being translated into a vibration in the fluid in your ear, into a physical motion of these little receptors there into an electrical motion, into an electrical signal that goes into your ear. So all that's pretty impressive stuff. We're not going to talk about the details of it, but I invite some of you who want to learn more about this, particularly MIT students, I think find receptors to be really quite remarkable kinds of devices.
Pause recording. So this is your work. I'll copy it and I'll paste it in the Word document. Share the screen. Okay, this is your work. The speaker provided brief information about sound. I think the answer was receptor. Spunky things, motion and use. First of all, the speaker discussed again sound receptor. Vibrations and energy. Secondly, the speaker mentioned ease, motioning, and devices. Thirdly, the speaker highlighted physical motion, vibrating energy, and more devices. In a nutshell, there was important information on sound receptors, devices, energy, and motions. Let's look at the word limit here. Is it a bit low? No, it's correct. It's about 50 words. So unless you're sure of the word, don't put it in. Okay. So I'll just show you. This is about how many words? 57 words. The speaker provided brief information about under appropriate conditions and say, first of all, sound receptors in the ear and beautiful. Secondly, the speaker mentioned flappy, spiky things in your ear and from your ear. Thirdly, the speaker also highlighted electrical motions, electrical signals, vibrational energy, and invite to learn. In a nutshell, remarkable, devices, ear and receptor. So let's start off with the next question type, the fill in the blanks question. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you know the strategy for, let me show the PowerPoint. Okay, so this was the strategy for summarize spoken text, which you did well. And the next question type, which is important for us, is called fill in the blanks, where what is the strategy here? So we have about 7 seconds or so before the audio starts. So the text will be displayed and there are blanks in the text. You have about 7 seconds before you start listening to the audio. So in that 7 seconds of time, you can see where the gaps are placed. Are they too close to each other? Are they farther off from each other? So you can take a look at the gaps. And then for the strategy, once the audio begins, then your eyes is on the screen, your hands are on the paper. And without taking your eyes off the screen, as you listen to the missing word, you write it one below the other. So pay attention to the forms of word, whether it's in the past tense or the present tense, and also whether it's in the singular or plural forms. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. So each blank gives you a point to listening and a point to writing. So if you make any spelling errors, even if this word drives is written as drive, then we don't get any point to listening or to writing. So it's very important that you pay attention to the forms of the word and to the spellings. So before you click next in your exam or before you submit your answer, you should always make sure that that you have proofread it and that's the answer that you intend to submit. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's do a few of this. So I'll go back to listening. Can you see my real PT screen?
Yes.
So we're doing fill in the blanks question. Let's do the repeated ones. So this is not your question. We look at the repeated questions. So in the order of high frequency first. So I'll start off with the second one. Eyes on the screen, hands on the paper. And when you listen to the missing word without taking your eyes off, write it one below the other. The count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and
Lawrence Stephen Lowry. Lawrence Stephen Lowry, RBS, RA, was an English artist.
Ma'am, can you wait for 2 minutes?
sure. I'll stop the recording there and I'll wait for you. Okay. Resume share. Okay. So eyes on the screen, hands on the paper. Put on your listening ears at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Lawrence Stephen Lowry. Lawrence Stephen Lowry, RBS, RA, was an English artist. Many of his drawings and paintings depict Penn, Libery, Lancashire, where he lived and worked for more than 40 years, and also Salford and its surrounding areas. Lowry is famous for painting scenes of life in the industrial districts of northwest England in the mid-20th century. He developed a distinctive style of painting and is best known for his urban landscapes peopled with human figures often referred to as Matchstick Man. He painted mysterious, unpopulated landscapes, brooding portraits, and the unpublished marionette works, which were only found after his death.
Okay. You can spend about 1 minute. I'll time you for 1 minute. Maybe a minute and a half. I'll time you for 1.5 minutes.
Ma'am, I just found only one word.
Okay, that's all right. And which was the word that you found?
Ma'am, industrial.
Industrial. Okay, the next one.
Ma'am, next I don't clear.
Okay, it was distinctive.
Distinct.
And the next one.
Ma'am, I think human.
No, he had written matchstick man, I think.
Matchstick man.
The brooding. I didn't listen to this. Brooding dash and the unpublished. So brooding portraits and unpublished marionette works. Okay, so eyes on the screen. We'll do the next one on. Eyes on the screen, hands on the paper. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Animals. In animals, a movement is coordinated by a cluster of neurons in the spinal cord called the central patterns generator, CPG, produces signals that drive muscles to contract rhythmically in a way that produces running or walking, depending on the pattern of pulses. A simple signal from the brain instructs the CPG to switch between different modes, such as going from a standstill to walking. Animals.
Okay, I'll time you for 1 minute.
Ma'am, yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I tell?
You finished it already, is it?
Ma'am, yes.
Okay, good job. Just give me 1 minute. Let's turn this off. Okay. Yes. For the first one,
Ma'am, panel.
Anna, can you please tell me the spelling?
Ma'am, PANAL.
PANAL.
AL.
Okay. The next one,
Contract.
can you please spell it?
CONTRACT.
Okay. The next one,
Mode. MODE. Different modes.
okay. So, mode or modes?
Ma'am, modes.
So if you look at the answer, the first one was patterns. That's it. Your time is up.
Patterns.
Patterns. The second one was contract, and the third one was modes. You said mode, but then you corrected it. So be very, very careful. Okay.
Ma'am, yes.
Eyes on the screen, hands on the paper. Put on your listening ears. 1, 2, 3, and go.
CEO. That brings us to the CEO's second duty, building everyone, or more accurately, building the senior team. All the executives report to the CEO, so it's the CEO's job to hire, fire, and manage the executive team. From coaching CEOs, I actually think this is the most important skill of all. Because when a CEO hires an excellent senior team, that team can keep the company running. When a CEO hires a poor senior team, the CEO is up spending all of their time trying to do with the team and not nearly enough time trying to do with other elements of their job. The senior team can, and often does, develop the strategy for the company, but ultimately, it's always the CEO who has the final go, no-go decision on strategy.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have done.
Can you tell me what's the first one?
Ma'am, everyone.
Can you please tell me spell it for me?
EVERYONE.
Is there a space or is it one word?
Ma'am, one word.
Okay. What about the next one?
Ma'am, hires.
Can you please?
HIRES.
Okay. Can you tell me the second one?
Ma'am, coaching. COCHING.
Okay. The next one?
Spending. SPENDING.
Okay. Next one?
Ma'am, work. WORK.
Okay. So here, the first answer is everyone, which you've got correct. That's 1 point. This is hire, not hires. The next one had O in between, coaching. The next one was spending, which is correct. And the last one was develop. So you've got 2 points to writing and 2 points to listening. So let's do one more. Eyes on the screen, hands on the paper. Are you okay with doing more of this or are you bored?
Yes.
Okay. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and go.
Than thought. Now that story's been scotched as only part of contingency planning, but it was a symptom of the dramatic turn of events in South Australia, and it flushed out other remarks from water academics and people like Tim Flannery, indicating that things were really much worse than had been foreshadowed even earlier this year. So is Adelaide, let alone some whole regions of South Australia, in serious bother, considering that the vast majority of its drinking water comes from the beleaguered Murray, something many of us outside the state may not have quite realised? Is their predicament something we have to face up to as a nation?
Okay, are we finished?
Ma'am, yes.
Okay, it's the first one.
Ma'am, first one, I'm not clear with that.
Okay, second one.
Second is shattered.
Okay, can you please spell it for me?
SHATERED.
SHA
TERED.
ERED. Okay, the next one.
Range. RANGE.
Next one.
Ma'am, next one, I don't know.
The next one.
Predicted. PREDICTED.
With the answer. The first one is academics. Is the audio unclear or something, or?
I'm in between. I'm clear with that.
Okay. Is the audio quality bad? Is that you're not able to hear because of the audio?
Ma'am, no, I can hear, but few words, it's not clear. Like it's too fast for me.
Okay. So the next one was regions. This one was beleaguered, and the last one was predicament. This is a repeated question. Make note of it. It's called water crisis. So let's do the next one. The count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and
Barcode scanners. Many different types of barcode scanning machines exist. They all work on the same fundamental principles. They all use the intensity of light reflected from a series of black and white stripes to tell a computer what code it is seeing. White stripes reflect light very well, while black stripes reflect hardly any light at all. The barcode scanner shines light sequentially across the barcode, simultaneously detecting and recording the pattern of reflected and non-reflected light. The scanner then translates this pattern into an electrical signal that the computer can understand. All scanners must include computer software to interpret the barcode once it's been entered. This simple principle has transformed the way we are able to manipulate data and the way in which many businesses handle record keeping.
Ma'am, I found only 2 words, last 2 words.
Okay, what's the last two?
Oh, ma'am, last word is manipulate.
Okay, can you please spell it?
M-A-N-E
M-E-N-E.
P-U-L-A-T-E.
This is the one that you intended?
Ma'am, and second last,
Okay,
template.
please spell it.
T-A-M-P-L-A-T. P-L-A-T-E.
Okay, actually, this was translates. So it was
Translate.
translates, and manipulate. The spelling is manipulate. Sorry about this.
M-A-N.
M-A-N, manipulate. Manipulate. The first one was intensity. Next one was seeing. The third one I was not paying attention. So this is the answer. First one was intensity. Second one was seeing. Third one was sequentially. Translates, manipulate. This you have to practice every day. I think this is a bit challenging for you, right? This question type. Okay. So eyes on the screen, hands on the paper. Let's do a lot more today. Since it's only two of us, we can practice because it's difficult for you anyway. At the count of 3, 1, 2, and 3, and let's go.
The ocean. The ocean has been getting bluer, according to a study published in the journal Nature. But that's not really good news for the planet. It means that the plants that give the ocean its green tint aren't doing well. Scientists say that's because the ocean has been getting warmer.
Okay.
Ma'am, good news for the people. I think.
Okay. The next one.
Ma'am, green.
Okay. The next one.
Warmer.
Can you spell it for me?
W-A-R-M-E-R.
Okay, let's look at the answer. The first one is planet, but green
Planet.
warmer is correct. Let's do more. The count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and go.
Candace Galen. Candace Galen is based at the University of Missouri in Columbia. And being a biologist, she thought, why not use this astronomical phenomenon to study a biological one? Specifically, as the skies darkened, would daytime pollinators, like bumblebees and honeybees, call it quits? What better activity during an eclipse than to go out with a recorder and record the bees? So, Galen asked 400 citizen scientists, including young students, to place audio recorders in 16 flower patches along the path of totality in Oregon, Idaho, and Missouri. When they analyzed the audio, they found that during partial eclipse, bee buzzing continued. But when totality hit, the bees went silent and only the conversational buzz of human observers could be heard. Then, as the moon passed and the sun again lit up the sky, the bees regained their buzz.
Okay.
Mom, I think first is Phenomials.
Please spell it for me.
F-E-N-O
F-E-N-O-A-N.
M-I-A-L.
Okay. What's the next one?
Next one is Darken.
Okay. Can you spell it for me?
D-A-R-K.
Yeah.
D-A-R-K.
E-N, is it? Okay. What's the next one? I can't hear you.
Ma'am, third one I don't know.
Okay. The fourth one?
Last one. Beaking.
Can you please
W-W-E-K-I-N-G.
W-E-A-K-I-N-G?
W-E-E-K-I-N-G.
Okay. So love, this is first one was phenomenon, second is darkened, third is quits, fourth is partial, and the last one is regained with ed. Can we do a bit of highlight incorrect words now? Okay. Or do you want a break for
Carbon-rich soils.
not this one? Do you want a break for half a minute?
No.
You're ready to start off, is it?
Carbon-rich soil.
Okay. So listening, and we do highlight incorrect word. So here you'll be, let me take you to the presentation. Give me a minute. So highlight incorrect words. This is the one. You'll be listening to an audio and you have a text in front of you. You have to match every word in the audio to every word in the text. And every time a word is not matching, you click on it and you highlight it. So this time what you do is you can write down the words that you wish to tell me. So same thing, eyes on the screen and then hands keep on writing the words that you wish, that you think don't match. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And this question type, it has negative marking. So if you mark a word that is matching, then you'll get -1. You have to be very careful here. Is this clear? Okay, so highlight incorrect words. It's important even for your reading.
Cigarettes are bad for your health, but that's only if you smoke them. If you use them to line your nest, they might actually do you some good, because birds that decorate their digs with discarded cigarette butts are less bothered by parasites. And that's according to a new study in the Royal Society.
Okay, are you ready?
Ma'am, not. Yes, please.
Okay,
Oh, ma'am, yes.
okay. So 1, 2, 3, and go.
Cigarettes are bad for your health, but that's only if you smoke them. If you use them to line your nest, they might actually do you some good, because birds that decorate their digs with discarded cigarette butts are less bothered by parasites. And that's according to a new study in the Royal Society journal, Biology Letters. When building a nest, birds tend to make do with the materials at hand, or at beak. Twigs and leaves are popular choices, but what about city birds? Some reach for cigarettes, or at least the fluffy white fibers found in their filters. Scientists got to wondering whether this habit might provide the birds benefits, other than comfy bedding. So they grabbed the nests of finches and sparrows that were living on the campus of the National University of Mexico. That's in the heart of Mexico City. And they found that the nests that were festooned with the most filter fiber had the lowest number of mites. Could be that the little bloodsuckers are turned off by nicotine. Or maybe they've heard about the dangers of secondhand smoke. But for the birds, a butt a day might just keep mites away.
Okay, love. Okay, can you tell me the words? first line. I can't hear you, my love. I think it's some network issue, but I can't hear you at all.
Ma'am, after smoke, the word M.
Which one here? This one?
Ma'am, yes.
Okay, then.
Ma'am, then in fourth line, royal.
Okay, then.
And ma'am, then next line, found in their fibers.
This one?
Ma'am, no, ma'am, yes.
Then.
And ma'am, last second line, turned off by after Nichols. Ma'am, Nichols.
Okay, is that all?
Ma'am, yes.
Okay, I also got a few. The first one I got was this one, streamline. That's one. Then the second one that I got was, where is it? Nest and next, which was, according to new study, blah, 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 blah. What building a next and nest? That's the one I got. Then the next one that I got was fibers. This one. This is the one I got. And then the next one was grabbed and snubbed. This one. And the last one was nicotine and Nichols. Like you said, let's look at the answer. So we got together, both of us have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 answers right. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 answers wrong. So we've only got about 2 points towards listening because this has negative marking. So shall we do the next one? At the count of 3, 1, 2, and 3.
You vote for politicians based on their views, right? That's how it works in theory. But other factors can sway your vote, like a politician's voice. Because studies show that the deeper the voice, the more electable the candidate. And not just for men. Deeper voice women have an advantage over other women, even when they're running for positions traditionally held by women, like the school board or PTA president. So says a study in the journal PLOS One. Researchers played undergrads recordings like this.
I urge you to vote for me this November. I urge you to vote for me this November.
Then they asked the students to vote for one of them for the school board or the PTA. In each mock election, the deeper voice woman snagged about 70% of the votes. Women's voices naturally deepen with age, so the researchers say we might be biased to select older women as leaders. And previous studies have shown that women with deeper voices are seen as more competent, trustworthy, and strong. Margaret Thatcher used that to her advantage. She was famously coached to deepen her voice.
There's that woman ahead of him again.
Other politicians might do well to follow.
Okay. So.
Ma'am, the word strengthen.
Strength. Okay, then.
And then competent.
Okay.
PTA.
I can't hear you. I really can't hear anything that you say. Sorry.
Fabulously.
Famously, this one? Can't hear you. Is this the one? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you look at the answer, it was vote and note, portray and sway. So we got 1 negative marking. We've got 1 correct answer. So we've not got anything. Okay. So we have to practice this as well. So please write down that you have to practice, fill in the blanks of listening, as well as highlight incorrect words. So your listening module has to be practiced. Let's do a few write from dictations now. Are you ready? Or do you want a 30 seconds break? Or are you okay to go?
Ma'am, yes, I'm okay with that.
So at the count of 3, not this, but I'll look at the repeated one.
Physics is the key.
I'll look at the repeated one. I want you to type your answers in the chat this time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the order of high frequency at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and
A celebrated theory is still the source of great controversy.
Ma'am, can you repeat again?
but in your exam you can't, okay? But here I'll do it for you. 1, 2, 3, and go.
A celebrated theory is still the source of great controversy.
Oh, ma'am, I'm not clear with that.
Okay, give me a minute. I'm just writing it down. I'll type it. So listen, repeat, write initials, complete your initials, and then write it. So this was the answer. A celebrated theory is still the source of great controversy. So this was the answer that I wrote. A celebrated theory is still the source of great controversy. That's 10 points to listening and 10 points to writing. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and go.
A good architecture wants structure should be useful, durable, and beautiful.
Okay. You've written it. A good architecture should be beautiful. This is the answer. I'm sorry, I'll just share my screen. Sorry. Not this one. I'm really sorry about this. Okay, so this is the answer. A good architecture, one structure should be useful, durable, and beautiful. So you have written a good architecture. So that's 3 should be. So 1, 3, 4, then 5. We've got 5 points to listening and 5 points to writing. That's 5 on 8. Ready for the next one? Listen, repeat, write initials, complete your initials, and then type in the sentence. The count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go.
All of the assignments should be submitted in person to the faculty office.
Okay, and then we type it in. You can, in your exam, spend about 2 minutes. Okay, you've done it. This is the answer. All of the assignments, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, should be submitted 5, 6, 7. The office 7, 8, 9. So 9 out of 13, that's 9 points to listening, 9 points to writing. Well done. Ready for the next one? 1, 2, 3, and go.
The sociology department is highly regarded worldwide.
You have written it. The psychology department. Actually, the answer is the sociology department. So the in department is 2, is highly regarded worldwide. So that's 3 points. 3 to listening, 3 to writing. So let's do one more with the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go.
All industries consist of input, process, output, and feedback.
Okay, you've written it. Let's look at the answer. Okay, so you've written process and feedback, right? Process, feedback. So 1 and 2. So the answer is actually all industries consist of input, comma, process, output, and feedback. Comma doesn't matter much in your writing dictation, so don't worry about that. Let's do one more at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go.
When launching a product, research and marketing are very vital.
you've done it. This is the answer. Research and marketing. So 3 and then very 4. 4. So this is the answer. When launching a product, research and marketing are very vital. So 4 out of 10, which is okay. Let's do the next one. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and go.
The toughest part of public transport is funding.
Okay, toughest sport. Let me share my screen. Okay, this is the answer. The toughest part of public transport is funding. Let's do the next one. 1, 2, 3, and go.
The extent of advertising to children is very much open to debate.
Good job. The extent of advertising children is much open to debate. So you did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, then 6, 7, 8. That's 8 points to listening, 8 points to writing. Good job. Let's do one more at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Agenda items should be submitted by the end of the day.
Hello, hi Ricky.
Oh my.
Hello. Hello, Rishi.
I was just trying to enter the class.
Okay, yeah.
Are you
Hello.
talking? Hi,
Yes.
is this your first day?
No, it's actually, I'm just trying to log in, but not today. And maybe tomorrow I'll start it again.
Okay, so
Yeah.
my name is Ruth and I'm going to be your PTE trainer. We're almost at the end of today's lesson. So we were just practicing this question type called write from dictation from PTE listening. Okay, so submitted, should be submitted. So you've got only one mistake. Well done, Gurkirat. That's 10 out of 11. 10 points to writing and 10 points to listening. And Rishi, what's your desired score?
7 each, huh?
What's your desired score?
Should be 7 each.
7 each. And do you know when you're planning to sit for your test?
A couple of months.
Oh, you've given yourself a couple of months, is it?
Yeah.
And do you know what your challenge area is?
I don't know now.
Okay, so you've not tried PTE before at all?
No, it's first time.
Okay, so PTE is quite, so have you taken IELTS before?
Yeah, I done, but it's not a good score. It was just 5 each and overall 5.
All over 5. Did you have time to practice or no?
No. It was like 6 years ago, maybe.
So that's a lack of practice, obviously. So with PTE, I suggest you don't need, what I suggest is usually I encourage my student to go for a 4-week plan. So have a date in mind 4 weeks from now. So if you start tomorrow is the 29th, you aim for 29 May to be the date of your exam. So you'll have a goal and you'll be motivated to work for it. So PTE, I can make you a 4-week study plan. And by the end of 4 weeks, you should be well prepared to take your test. So PTE requires you, you don't need a couple of months if you just stick to the plan, unless you have big problems. But otherwise, I think you can do it within 4 weeks or at least 5 weeks. It won't take longer. If you commit yourself for a daily practice and stick to the study plan, and I think 4 or 5 weeks would be good enough.
That's good.
But you'll need to remain committed and you'll need to practice every day. So there's a daily study plan which students follow. I think Gurkirat is aware of it, and the other students who come regularly, they have the study plan that they follow every day, which I made for them, customized it based on their score. So I suggest that if you start classes, then that's a commitment. If you want to take a test, aim for maybe 4 weeks. Okay, end of 4 weeks, I'm going to sit for my test. What should I work on? So by the end of your week 1, you should be ready with all your strategies. By the end of your week 2, you should be tweaking all your speaking and spellings and those kinds of mistakes. By the end of week 3, you should be ready to take your mock tests. Week 3 is only mock test, practice, mock test, practice. And by the end of week 4, since you're looking at 7, you will need to take a Pearson mock test and then book your date and sit for your test at the end of week 4.
Oh.
So that should be your goal, because if you do not have an aim, you'll be lost and you'll go haphazard with your practicing. It won't matter that much to you. But if you have an aim, if you have a date in mind, then you'll work towards it.
Sure. I'll do it as soon as possible. I don't want to waste time.
Yeah, that's right. So you give yourself 5 weeks. Do you have an issue with spellings, or are
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You have issue with spellings, mistake? You
Yes,
make spelling mistakes?
Yes. A lot of.
A lot. Is it because of okay? Is it because you're not comfortable with the keyboard, or is it because spellings are a challenge for you?
Now both of them is hard for me because I never use a computer.
Okay, all right. So we'll start off with it tomorrow if you're okay, but you will need to commit. If you commit, I'll commit too, and then we'll work together for your score. But if you keep dropping out, dropping in, then you can't help yourself, nor can I. But if you promise that, okay, I'll follow the study plan, and that's it, you'll get your score. Trust me. So yeah, with Gurkirat, I think she's doing okay. Listening is her only module where she's got a bit of challenge, but she's okay with speaking and reading. We have not done yet, but with speaking and writing, I think she's pretty okay. So that's the end of today's lesson, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow. This class is from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock every day from Monday to Friday.
Just say bye to her. Excuse me, ma'am. I have to go now, and I'll call you back tomorrow
Okay.
on time. See ya, ma'am.
See you. Bye, Gurkirat, and have a good day. Before we conclude today, do
Bye,
you
ma'am.
have any doubts regarding what we did?
Ma'am, no. Ma'am, actually, I want to practice only for Phillips and highlighting incorrect.
And right from dictation. So listening to your challenge area, I think it's a lack of confidence. So when you watch TV, try and watch more of English shows, listen to news, but don't turn on the subtitles. Just listen for the words, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So, or listen to the English podcasts or radio or something like that, but see that you don't turn on the subtitles.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, from today, okay? So that'll help
Yeah,
you
ma'am.
with your listening. It'll build your confidence. I think it's a lack,
Yeah, ma'am.
of confidence here. I think that will build your confidence. Okay, then
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow then.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, see you, ma'am.
See you.
Bye.